Hi everyone. It has been so long since I've recorded a video, but I've decided that my bookshelf is ridiculous. All of that is TBR, and one of my personal goals this year is to read more books that are on my TBR. So I wanted to have a little bit of a TBR knockout. I'm going to focus on reading from my physical TBR and from my TBR on Goodreads. So the theme, as you can see from this title, is reading the books that I have been avoiding. There are a number of books on my shelves that have been on there for a long time or are new. I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to read that right now. So we're going to focus on that. The two books that I know for sure that I'm going to read is Eidolon, which is the sequel to Radiance by Grace Draven, which I read last year, and I have been avoiding reading the sequel for many months. I know for sure that I'm going to read the second book in the Diviners as well, which I read in June and have put off reading the sequel. We might try to get to the portrait of Dorian Gray, because I want to read the final book in the Athena Club series, which I think is Mesmerizing Girl. Like, I don't know, something like that, something about a mesmerizing girl. But before we jump into all of that, I am just going to go ahead and pop over to HomeGoods to have a bit of a day out. I had COVID all of last week, have been quarantined, and have not been able to leave my home. Yesterday was the first day that I could. Today is the second day that I can. We're still having beautiful summer weather, so without further ado, let's pop over to HomeGoods. I'm back from HomeGoods. This bag is huge, but it's just because the things I bought were big. So let me stop rustling the bag so you can actually hear me. I finished up at HomeGoods. I picked up a few things. Not everything that I wanted was there. Mainly, I was looking for a wreath and then a garland to put here, which is like a TV console full fireplace thing. Didn't find it, so we'll save that for later on. It is only late August. September is next week, but I still have plenty of time to find what I'm looking for. But what I did pick up, just to show you a little haul, if you care about fall decor, was this tablecloth for the dining room table. I like replacing the tablecloth for the season. I also picked up this beautiful orange blanket. I love these kind of knit blankets. They're so warm and cozy. I have one in dark blue, which I was using for spring and summer. This will be beautiful and decorative on the couch, but also practical because I like to cozy up with a blanket whenever I am in the living room, which is most of the time. You're in the living room with me right now. I just picked up this candle, which is called Autumn Blessings. It's a white pumpkin scent. It smells really sweet and lovely, kind of like a beautiful pie. It smells great, so I'm excited to burn that for the fall season. And then finally, not home decor stuff, I literally just picked up like cans of pumpkin because I'm going to make pumpkin cream cheese muffins a little bit later on. For now, I am super hungry, so I'm gonna get started on washing the dishes from last night, which I was very naughty and did not wash, and also making myself some lunch. I'm gonna have some butter Tuscan chicken from a website recipe I found a little while ago. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna see you when I actually start reading. I continue to avoid reading. That's the name of this vlog. I would start with the sequel to the Diviners, Lair of Dreams, but I'm not ready to start with that yet. So I want to start with Eidolon, and I only have the physical copy of that book. So we'll get to that in a moment. Just finished making lunch. I hope it's good. I've never tried this recipe, but my goal is to find at least half a dozen recipes that I really, really like, that are pretty simple and the ingredients are accessible, and that way I can just cook those and have my go-to of meal prep for the week. But I haven't tried it yet. I'm letting it cool down. I'm gonna get started with Eidolon as well. This is the sequel to Radiance, which is about these two people here. They are from kind of opposing kingdoms. They're not very important people in the royal lines, respectively, but they are royal. So the two have an arranged marriage as kind of like a show of good faith to help bring peace to their kingdoms. They think it's a good idea. Their family thinks it's a good idea, rather, because they're so different and there's no like need for an heir for either of them because they're so far down from the family line. They both think that each other is absolutely hideous, like terrifyingly gross looking, and it is a acquaintances to friends. They develop such a deep mutual respect for each other, to lovers, and they fall in love at the end, and it's super cute. It had quite the cliffhanger. So this is the sequel, and I've been super nervous to read it because of where the cliffhanger left off. The tricky part is that I'm reading sequels in this video, so I won't be able to tell you much about the individual books, but I've been putting it off because I've been super scared that the characters are going to break up. I did try to read this while I was on the plane ride over to Florida for my vacation, but I was exhausted and I could not read it. So instead, I'm going to read it now. Once my lunch is cooled down, I will let you know what I think of it. But for now, let's do a little time lapse. Okay, I'm on page 70 of Eidolon now. That is chapter 4. I'm obsessed. I love them so much, and the plot going on, I'm just like, damn, that's wild. Like, so dangerous. But I know what's coming, and I'm like, please don't do that to them. But apparently, if you don't want to hear spoilers, this is very mild. I don't think it is a spoiler, but just warning now. Apparently it is happily ever after, so I'm gonna hold out for that because I know shit's about to get real tense right now. I wish I could tell you what's happening, but I can't because it would be a spoiler, but just know by my face, I'm loving it. For now, I'm gonna wash the remainder of the gel off of my baby hair and finally take off my makeup and switch out of my lounge wear and into my pajamas. Okay, so it's literally almost 11 p.m. I'm on page 193 of Eidolon. It's so, I was gonna say cute. It's angsty, like it is pure angst. And I have been loving it, but also like, because it's so tense. But I'm super tired. I'm super tempted to just keep reading it and finish it tonight, which realistically I could probably do before 1 a.m. I'm not going to disrupt my sleep schedule. Instead, I will continue the story tomorrow morning. I should probably finish it pretty early in the morning, and then we'll get started with the next book. So I'll check in with you all in the AM. Literally 1:30 p.m. I've been in meetings all morning and just had a ton of work to do. I did try to continue with Eidolon. I'm having a brain fog day, unfortunately, which just means that it's really hard for me to process any words that I'm reading. I just go just like that. Struggle speaking as well. It goes bloop. right out of my head, so I might switch over to an audiobook, which sucks because I'm loving Eidolon and I just want to keep reading. I had dreams about it last night, which feels like the nerdiest thing in the world to admit, but if I dream about a book, that should tell you how much I'm loving the book. It's very fantasy. There's so much like tension and magic and myth, and it's just a lot. It's a lot to read and process. I will say that there is a POV outside of the main characters. We follow our female protagonist and we'll follow our male protagonist, and we also follow this side character. Now the side character story is interesting and I get how she's relevant to our main couple, but at the same time I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, get back to the main couple. This story is not about you. And I'm wondering if her point of view is even strictly necessary, because all it's telling you is her journey. And I know that they will intersect with the main couple at some point, but I'm just like, I don't care. And every once in a while we get to her chapters and I'm just like, can I just skip this? But I won't. I'm gonna read the whole book page to page, but for now I will probably switch over to the audiobook for Lair of Dreams. I'm really tired, but I'm listening to the Diviners, the second book, Lair of Dreams, and I just remember how much I love these characters. Series for me end when I lose interest, and if I'm interested in a series I try to finish it pretty quickly because I'll forget it pretty quickly, but jumping right back in, I'm just like, oh, I love these characters so much and the story is so creepy and I'm really curious about it. I also want to listen to The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl, which thankfully is also on Scribd. To keep you updated on how I'm feeling about the Diviners, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I love Theta so much. I'm so curious to learn about Henry and some new characters we've been introduced to. There's some weird dreamscape things happening, obviously by the title, Lair of Dreams. Yeah, I'm enjoying that, and then I'm gonna start Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl, but I realize for you watching this vlog, is it odd for you to follow along with how I normally read books, which is just like stop and start so many? Like, I usually am reading like 3 or 4 books at a time, but when I edit vlogs back, I'm just like, wow, we are just hopping everywhere. So hopefully having the book in the video and me giving more verbal cues as to which book I'm reading in this clip will make the vlog a little bit easier to follow. I may end up going out later on tonight if I can get the energy, but honestly, I'm just feeling sluggish and I want to cozy up with all of the fall vibes, even though it is literally August 24th. But I will see you in the next clip, or either I will have taken a nap and then hopefully I'm not feeling so tired, or I will have gotten further into the Diviners, Lair of Dreams, or I will have gotten back into Eidolon, although I'm still very much struggling with brain fog right now. So we will see. So see you in the next clip. As you can see, I got dressed and tried to slick back my hair. I decided to make a bad decision and go get a pumpkin spice like iced coffee from Dunkin' in the hopes that it'll get my energy up. Tomorrow is mostly an admin day as well, so I'm gonna try to finish as many books as I can today. But off to Dunkin' and off to Dwayne Reed to pick up some more conditioner. I'm gonna try a new product just because my hair has been super dry and I'm forever on a journey with my hair and trying to tame it. Let's do a taste test. After I ordered this, it's just like the pumpkin spice iced latte. I realized that they had a pumpkin spice chai. It's also 90 degrees in New York. I was like, damn, I should have ordered that, but I had already paid. It's pretty good. This will definitely keep me up for the rest of the night. So see you at 2 a.m. No, I'm kidding. I'll see you when I have the next update. Okay, anyway, so I did finish my entire medium coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. And then I decided to sit down and record 2 videos. The reason why I don't typically drink coffee is that caffeine. I'm super, super sensitive. It like kicks in immediately for me. It lasts like at least 12 hours. It gives me a lot of trouble sleeping, but mainly it gives me a ton of anxiety. But your girl did it anyway because I'm trying to read as much as I can tonight. Currently, I'm not feeling too bad, but in the background, I can feel like the little heart palpitations, thrums of anxiety. So to help calm me down, I am watching Gavin's new Can I Solve This Murder Mystery on Our Sleeper Train video. And Gavin's videos always really calm me down when I am feeling anxious. So I'm gonna do that and continue to convince myself that I'm just feeling excited to read my books and super energized. Realizing that Eidolon is really angsty and Lair of Dreams is super scary. So hopefully it doesn't trigger more anxiety for me. But anyway, I'm gonna continue to watch this video, lower my mood a little bit, calm some of that excessive energy that I'm feeling, and then I will check in with you as I continue with Eidolon. Thankfully, I'm almost done with the chapter with the POV that I don't care about, and we'll be getting back to our main couple in a moment. I'm in the final 70 pages of the book. You can see you can see that I've been tabbing and annotating quite a bit. I don't even have the words to tell you how like tense and stressed I am, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this shit's intense. Like there's shit going on and it's really hard to read about, in the sense that it's just a lot of angst and tension and anxiety and stress. Like everything the characters are feeling, almost everything. I cannot actually experience the grief they're also experiencing. I'm feeling it, and I'm just like, I just want to finish the book because oh my gosh. But with that said, I do, like I said, have about 70 pages left, so I should be done within the next hour or so, a little over an hour with the book. But for now, I'm going to pause to take a little bit of a break because it's a lot right now. It's 11:30 p.m. and I finished it. I'm too tired to tell you all of my thoughts. I'm honestly just going to lay in the dark and listen to Lair of Dreams. Just know so many of these tabs are like light green, but you can see just how much I annotated this and how much I loved it. And I was immediately like, I could read about these two forever. Genuinely think they're soulmates, and would love a third book or like novella that is just like fluff. Just them being happy is what I want. Do you want to know how much more I read of Lair of Dreams last night? 0 pages. Absolutely 0 pages. After reading Eidolon, I was just like, wow, I need a minute to process this. I absolutely loved Eidolon. I gave it 4.5 stars. Ultimately, I would say the first novel, Radiance, is very much a fantasy romance versus the second novel, Eidolon, which is definitely just like fantasy. There's romance in there. We're still following our main couple. All of my like final thoughts have not been solidified yet, but just know initial rating is 4.5 stars, and then at the end of the vlog, when all of my thoughts have solidified, I will share my final thoughts with you. I am going to listen to Eidolon we finished Eidolon. I am going to listen to Lair of Dreams a little bit later on today, but right now I am doing some impromptu bed frame shopping and trying to pick the right bed frame. I may just chill for the rest of the night. I picked up spices for pumpkin cream cheese muffins. I am going to do a round 2. The first batch was delicious and I really liked them, but the only spice I had was cinnamon. This time I have cinnamon, vanilla, nutmeg, allspice, a bunch of things that should hopefully give it that pumpkin spice flavor. And I did a lot of variations in the muffins. We did a cream cheese stuffed, we did a cream cheese frosting, we did a chocolate chip, and I think that what I'm gonna do for this batch is cream cheese stuffed, even more cream cheese because that shit was good, and then a smaller amount of like cream cheese and chocolate chip as well. So I'll see you when I see you. 30% of the way into Lair of Dreams. I'm really enjoying it. Not much has happened, but we're digging into the plot right now. I have about 6.5 hours left in the audiobook. Obviously, I'm not going to finish that today. I'll probably finish that tomorrow or Sunday. Just wanted to say I love the fake dating trope that has been introduced to this, and I'm so curious about, there's like these kind of threads between the characters that are connecting them, and I'm curious about Will's thread and what it means for what's happening in the story. Again, it's super hard to talk about sequels without spoiling anything, so maybe I'll do a spoiler-free and a spoiler-filled final review at the end of the video.
New York City, 1927. Every city is a ghost. New buildings rise upon the bones of the old, so that each shiny steel beam, each tower of brick, carries within it the memories of what has gone before, an architectural haunting. Sometimes you can catch a glimpse of these former incarnations in the awkward angle of a street or a filigree gate, an old oak door peeking out from a new facade, a plaque commemorating the spot that was once a battleground, which became a saloon, and is now a park. Underground, it's no different. Beneath the street...
I'm back home. I am 44% of the way through The Diviners. I will tell you, I'm still really enjoying it, but earlier on I said like not much is happening. Now I realize everything is happening, but it's happening in pieces. Like the story is continuing, their day-to-day lives are continuing, but it's all leading to like one climax. So it's not like intro and then scene, here's this massive fight scene and this climax and this drama and then resolved. It's like life. Weird things happening, weird things happening, weird things happening, weird things happening, weird things happening. And then you put it together kind of like a puzzle. I imagine sometime soon because some shit is going down. And I'm just like, I don't think this is a spoiler, but if you know, you know. If you think you may be spoiled by it or you just want to skip, feel free to skip ahead like 10 seconds. All I want to say is Henry, check the peonies. That's it. That's why I don't think that's a spoiler. But if you've read Lair of Dreams or you are reading Lair of Dreams, you know exactly what I mean when I say Henry, check the peonies. I could be way off, but I don't think that I am way off. And it's a lot. But anyway, I am gonna take a break to like just drink some wine and watch some TV because I've been listening for like 3 hours straight. At this point, I'm in the final like 4 hours of the book, maybe 3.5 hours of the book, so I should be done pretty soon actually. I have read nothing. But I do plan to read later today, but for now, I think I mentioned earlier in the vlog that I had initially made like pumpkin cream cheese muffins, but the only spice I had was cinnamon. But now I have more spices, so we're gonna try round 2 where I know that I like a lot of cream cheese. I'm following a TikTok recipe. I have my notes with what I need. If you're wondering, why are we in your living room and not your kitchen? It's because the kitchen is super dark and shadowy just because of where the windows are, and I wanted to have a clear clip. So welcome to IRL, my actual living room. Let's make some pumpkin muffins. I'm 70% of the way through the book. There's like 3.5 hours left of the audiobook. I literally did not even read at all yesterday. There's some creepy ass scene, and all I can picture is if you've ever seen someone play Until Dawn, those like crawly things and how they rotate their head and they go like that. It's so gross. With that said, I am really, really enjoying the book, but it definitely feels like the plot is moving like, it's just slowly building up to something, but we haven't gotten there yet. I'm just waiting for all of the diviners to come together and do what they need to do or for this final fight sequence, because I'm super excited to move on to Before the Devil Breaks You, because I know that's a favorite for a lot of people. I probably won't update you again until either something really dramatic happens or I'm like 90% of the way through the book. So I shall see you whenever I have the update, because I'm not sure how much more I'm going to listen to today. It hasn't even happened yet. And all I have to say is, bitch, I fucking knew it. I knew it. Oh my gosh. I'm at 80%. We're almost there. Hi. Okay, it's the next morning. I finished Lair of Dreams last night at about 10 o'clock. I really enjoyed it and ultimately gave it 4 stars. As always, I need a few days to process, so I can give you my final thoughts. But my initial review is that I love this world. In terms of the characters, I loved like just knowing more about the characters and their backstories and how connected they were and how much they feel like real people, how horrifying and terrifying this world is, the drama and the action sequence of what is going on. Of course, by 80%, I had guessed who our culprit is in this world, and I was just so glad that I had read the sequel. The main things I really enjoyed about it were, of course, the magic system, the relationships and the friendships there. Theta and Memphis, absolutely OTP, love them so much. And I am so excited to know more about Theta's backstory and how our diviners are being threatened. Something that Libba Bray does really well is create characters that you love and create characters that you hate with every fiber of your being, and you just want to go in and strangle them. Like Sarah Snow can fuck right off. Whew, it was a lot. And although this world is obviously full of paranormal horror and demons and spirits, Libba Bray does not shy away from the horror of history and what it would have been like to be in America in the 1920s, and just like the disgustingness of people and the rhetoric that's going on. For me, that was the most horrifying part of this story. So those are my initial thoughts and impressions. It was a 4-star and not a 5-star because ultimately we were slowly building up to our fight scene, but that scene didn't happen until like the last 15% of the book, and the book is 600 pages long. So for about 500 pages, you are just following the characters and their day-to-day life, and this mystery is slowly unfolding because there's the mystery of the book that we're in, but there's also the overarching mystery of this series. So the story very much felt kind of like we started here, we had a little bit of a rise, we had a dip, and it just kept going like that until we slowly built up to the climax. But because I love the characters so much, I did really enjoy the story. I just didn't like the entire action sequence being crammed into the final 15% of the book. So with that said, but anyway, I'm gonna read the Portrait of Dorian Gray in preparation for reading the Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl, which is the final book in the Athena Club series by Theodore Goss. I am in the middle of filming intros and outros for 2 videos. I figured let me pause for a moment just to catch you up on how I am doing with Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl. I read chapter 1. I'm really fucking confused. I don't know what's happening, not because I didn't read the 2 books in the series before this. So I finished chapter 1, I'm confused, not because I didn't read the other 2 books in the series, but because we are all over the place in this chapter. We're like hundreds of thousands of years in the past. We are right after the adventure. We're on the travels back home. We're in the future as they're writing the book. We're when they get home. We're also following a different storyline with 2 other characters. characters who are still in Van Helsing's castle somewhere else in Europe. I don't know what timeline they're on either. I'm just confused because you're over here, you're over here, you're over here, you're over here, and it feels like we are in 50 different timelines in 30 different settings. Like, I literally have no idea what the fuck is going on. So that does not bode well for the book. Another reason why I had been avoiding this book is, while I loved the first book in the series, I hated the second book in this series. I gave it 2 stars, but I do actually have an interest in finishing this series. I'm not sure if I'll continue it anytime soon. Just, I think that I'm not in the mindset to enjoy this story at all. I don't really care about the characters right now, and I think that I need to be in a headspace where it's going to be easier for me to connect with the characters and care about the story. So if we cue right to the outro, then, you know, I decided to put the book down. It is the next day. Yes, I'm still wearing the same sweatshirt just because it's so cozy. That's my niece's little footsteps you can hear. I am sadly deciding to put a pause on continuing with Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl because I really want to love this book. But if I try to force myself to read it right now, I'm not gonna love it, just because I'm really not in the mood to read that book right now. And my mood does tend to affect how much I enjoy a book. I want to go back into this book when the weather is a little bit cozier, when it's a little bit cooler, and when I feel like I'm ready to give our main characters the love and respect that they deserve. So we were only able to finish 2 sequels in this reading vlog, which is still 2 series that I'm getting through, one that I've now completed and one that I only have 1 more book to get to because I won't read King of Crows. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know I had so much fun reading Lair of Dreams and Eidolon. But with that said, I am going to see you in my next video. Make sure to subscribe if you do enjoy my content and you like reading vlogs like this, and I shall see you next time. Bye!